You see, we have Gullah Geechee TV. You see? Ours is called Gullah Geechee TV Nation News. It's on YouTube.
Ah, ok.
Ah, sí.
Saludos a toda la comunidad Gullah.
Muy bien.
Yeah.
You get.
Waiting in some shop.
Yeah, please don't move.
This is great.
De zanahoria, con el plato y la Sí.
¿Tú puedes hacer eso, Rico? Sí, ese con el arroz.
La cocina. With the Gullah Geechee language, Gullah comes from putting together a lot of different African languages. We have Twi, we have Bai, we have so many different African languages. So when Hana the Yeti with a crack with teeth like that, and thing like that, then Hana with a Yeti with a crack with teeth and Gullah and thing like that. But when the Bakra them be there, then the Bakra them be tell we say no crack with teeth like that. So when you hear us speaking that way, that's actual Gullah. But as we spoke our language, we had the Anglo people come in and say, you shouldn't speak your language. So that's how a lot of Gullah Geechees now only speak English, American English. But there are many of our elders and many of the people in our community, they do what we call code switching. So just like people who speak Spanish, and then they don't let anyone know they speak Spanish. They only speak English around them. But then when they're amongst their family, they'll speak Spanish. Gullahs do the same thing. Gullah Geechees do the same thing. So they'll speak Gullah Geechee with each other, but not in public. And then so like people will joke and say, well, it's Spanglish, because it's not correct Spanish and it's not totally English. Well, Geechee is like our Spanglish because it grew out of Gullah people trying to speak to people who didn't speak Gullah and trying to bridge it so they could understand. So a lot of times if Hana Yeti with the crack we teach like this year, but the could anything with the name fun from the crook and thing like that, then they look like we cracky. So a lot of times when people will speak Gullah fluently and we'll talk about the things we know in the creek and stuff, they look at us like, you're crazy, right? So then we'll start trying to get them to understand. So we'll start putting loan words from English in, and we might say, well, One of the guan yonder for get that cut and things for bring them back here for we nampon. So but when we started doing that, then people started saying we were ignorant and saying we didn't know how to speak English. We weren't really trying to speak English. We were trying to get the English speakers to understand what we were saying in our own language. And so a Gullah is a language that's really struggling to continue to survive because we've had a couple of generations of missionary schools and the public education system that beat us in school to tell us don't speak your language. So when people can still speak their language, that is part of holding the tradition though. I always tell people the way we crack we teach that is the way we live. So in other words, the way we speak is the way we live. And so there's a lot of colloquialisms or proverbs that we use in our language. You could only understand if you were Gullah Geechee because you would understand the context for it. And so when people tell you not to speak your language, it's like they're taking out the soul of your culture. Just like taking the drum from us. That's how we ended up with this hand clap. Because they took the drums from us in 1739 and 1740 because the drums were always a part of rebellion and uprising. So they said we were not supposed to play the drum. So that's why we used the staff and stick because you wouldn't have it like this. You would just use a stick. You would just take a branch from certain trees and you would make it. So if they came in and they heard the rhythm, you could just drop the stick. And they wouldn't be able to find a drum. So they couldn't beat you, they couldn't kill you for having a drum because they couldn't find one. Okay? Or they heard this sound and this rhythm just like y'all were playing on the table. And they come in and where the drum? We said, find it. We don't have a drum. We don't know what you're talking about. And then they can't find it. But if they found an actual drum like that, people would get beaten, they would get killed and made an example of because they felt like they were drawing the people back together to rise up again. And so in 1739, we had what was called the Stono Rebellion, which happened in Charleston. Y'all passed right down the Stono River coming this way. And people were actually leaving Carolina to head to La Florida, where the king had said that if any Negroes left Carolina, made it to La Florida, and converted to Catholicism, they would be manumissed or freed and given arms and land. And they could live at Gracia Real de Santa Teresa de Mose, or Fort Mose.
En la zona del Perú, en el tiempo del virreinato, también se le prohibió el cuero, el sonido del cuero a nuestros ancestros.
To play drums.
Sí, de ahí nace el cajón y otros ritmos de madera.
Ah, and that's so you start playing cajon. Yeah. And so you still make cajon now, right?
Sí,
We even
sí.
have a couple of drums. We put 1,500 cajoneros in the main square of the city, of the capital.
Wow.
We have an international festival of cajon, and the idea was the same. If you use the boxes, the wood boxes of cloth, for example.
Right.
And when the monster came, you put back on the
put it
closet.
back.
So there is no problem with
So
that.
there's nothing there.
And
Right.
again,
Exactly.
For example, we have the cajita, the little box.
I've seen that.
That is the cajita for the church, the box for the church when you put the money.
Yeah.
But you use it like, well, like this, no? You
Right.
have one beat here and you have the other one
On the
beat
bottom,
there.
right. And it changes the rhythm. Exactly. Wow. Yeah. I see.
That's the idea.
Pero Chile, en Chile la cajita, las comunidades, los esclavos, cerca de la zona central, utiliza esa cajita era para recolectar dinero.
Sí, era la limosna de la...
Para recolectar
Right. Same thing.
limosna y ahí con eso.
And get the rhythm.
Sí, lo ocupaban
And
hacia
then to get the arms.
salían
Okay,
en
into
la
the
calle.
bottom. So did the people at the churches know that you started taking notes to do that?
Sacaban esa cajita para hacer eso. Not really, because the only place when you can gather the African people together was in the church.
In the church. Oh.
Here.
See.
Because
Only place
otherwise
in
it's going to be rebellion. For
See.
example,
Same thing. Yeah. Same thing.
¿Cómo se dice procesión, hermana? Procesión. The procession of El Señor de los Milagros, the Lord of Miracles, that is a black Christ.
Right.
The The people who carry the Christ are black people.
Black people.
Yeah.
Okay, and see, like these houses, and I'm going to show you one of them. This is the praise house.
Okay.
So the praise house is a place where we could gather also. But that was also the place we would pass on our traditions and we would have secret meetings and so on. But the praise houses came in the 1800s, where in the 16 and the 1700s we would meet outside like this in what we call the bush arbor. And so in the bush arbor, when they would hear that rhythm coming from it, you know, and the singing like, get away, Chile Jordan, get away, oh Chile Jordan, get away, Chile Jordan, I want to cross over for see my Lord. So they thought we're just singing, we're happy, you know, this and that, we're just praising, but actually the songs had codes. And so the songs had two meanings all the time. But it was safe, like you said, to gather if it was considered a spiritual gathering. You see, so when the praise houses were put there, they really had put them there to try to keep the Africans enslaved and to try to only give them certain parts of the Bible, not the whole Bible. Like just parts that say slaves obey servants in all ways, obey your masters, that part. You know, not Exodus, not any of that. And so that this way, they were trying to indoctrinate them to say, well, you're supposed to be enslaved and you're supposed to act right while you're there. But instead, the spirit would move, and that's how we ended up with the songs called the spirituals. And then the shout tradition with the music, and it all blends together. And so now the spirituals are South Carolina state music. Yeah, so they actually recognize that we created those songs, and those songs have gone all over the world now. But yeah, same thing. Same thing. So interesting.